Hello guys, and welcome to my journal for Monday the 31st of August 2020. Today is month end, the final trading day of the month of August, and it was a mixed day in the equity markets today. At the closing bell, the Dow was down, the Nasdaq was up, the S&P 500 was down, and the Russell 2000 was also down. So there was no congruence, if you like, in the markets. One index was up and the other three were down. And also worth noting is the internals of the market today. On the New York Stock Exchange, the ratio of declining stocks to advancing stocks was 2 to 1. So for every one stock that went up, two stocks went down. And if you're a student of history, you would know that a strong August is usually followed by a weaker September. That's what history tells us. If it's going to happen this year, only God knows, but that is what history tells us, that a very strong August is usually followed by a weaker September. That said, this August has been very strong for the equity indices. In terms of S&P 500, this August has been the strongest August in terms of gains since 1986. And for the Dow, it's been the best August since 1984. The Nasdaq was up 10% this year, but it doesn't qualify as the best since the 80s. I think simply because of the 2000s when we had the tech boom. And a few companies stand out today: Apple, Tesla, and Zoom. So Apple and Tesla's stock split was effective today. Today being the first day the trading post split. And Tesla was up 12% on the day. I believe Tesla is up about, is it 100 billion or something since he announced a split. And Apple was also up about 3%. I believe Apple has gained about $500 billion since he announced its split. Zoom, the earnings came out after the closing bell and it was a blowout quarter. The street was expecting earnings of 45 cents per share for Zoom, but Zoom did better than that. They doubled it and delivered an EPS of 92 cents versus 45 cents that was being expected by the streets. The street was also expecting a revenue of $500 million, and again Zoom topped it and delivered a revenue of $663 million compared to $500 million estimate being expected by the street. So for Zoom, it was a beat on both the top and the bottom line, with the revenue growing 355% on an annualized basis. And after the bell, in the aftermarket and the shadow markets, Zoom was trading up about 13%, 1-3. Moving on to the other benchmarks, the dollar remains weak. The dollar index was down again today, still below 93, hovering around the 92.15 mark. And there was some buying of US Treasury today, and that pushed the yield on the 10-year benchmark down by 23 basis points. But the story of the day has got to go to the VIX. The VIX was up today. There was a lot of downside protection going on today, and there was a lot of insurance buying, and that pushed up the VIX to 26.41. So the VIX rose by about 15%, 15% to close at 26.41. And yet again, this is an anomaly. Given that the S&P 500 is sitting around its all-time high, it's quite unusual for the VIX to be this high when S&P is at an all-time high. But then there is an obscene amount of liquidity being pumped into the markets, and the fundamentals seem to have lost any sense of relevance. All that matters now is the Fed and the liquidity being pumped into the system. That said, there are now 18 days until the September contract expires and 46 days until the October contract expires. And that means from tomorrow I'm going to start looking for spreads to sell in the October contract. And with VIX at 26, that is a gift from the markets for premium sellers. So hopefully should be able to find quite a few opportunities for the October contract. Moving on to my trade ideas. I had no new trade idea today, but one of my open positions in the September contract closed out today and I booked my profits. For more information on that closed position, you can check the Trade Ideas Alert Forum or click on the link below. And that was a position in SLV. This one here closed out today. Now moving on to my open positions, I now have 3 open positions, haven't closed out the silver. So I've got FSLY, I have got CRBP, and I've got ARKK. Starting with FSLY. So FSLY, I sold the 8075 puts for 1.8. Let me see where FSLY closed today. FSLY. So FSLY closed at $92.84. Closed at $92.84. Excuse me. My short 80 strike put is still out of the money, about $12 out of the money, and no action is required on this position at the moment. The next position I've got is CRBP. I sold the 5 2.5 put spread for $1.04. Let's see where CRBP closed today. And CRBP closed at $9.29. My short 5 strike put is way out of the money, and again no action required on this position. My third and final position is in ARKK. ARKK, I sold the 90.95 call spread for $1.35, and let's see where ARKK closed today. ARKK closed at $95.33. So my short 90 strike call is now deep in the money. It's about $5 in the money, and if I wanted to balance this position out, let me go to the trade tab. ARKK. If I wanted to balance this position out, I'll be looking to sell the 85 puts or lower. But if you look at the 85 put here, all I can get is 60 cents. And if I wanted to then buy the 80 put as my hedge, I'm looking at about 30 cents. Not worth it. My thinking now is if ARKK consolidates around the 95 level tomorrow, I'll be looking to ladder my strikes, and by that I mean I would sell the 100 call. I would sell the 100 call and buy the 105 call for a credit of about $1 to $1.10, and that will lower my break-even point. That will lower my break-even point, and might be able to get out of this position with a small profit if it doesn't correct down. On the other hand, if it pulls back away from the 95 level tomorrow, then I'll stick to plan A. Plan A is what I discussed in Friday's journal. So tomorrow the plan is, if ARKK consolidates around this 95 level which it hit today, then I'll be looking to ladder my strikes and sell the 100 call and buy the 105 call to pull in some extra credits to lower my break-even point. If it pulls back from 95, then it's back to plan A. And that takes me onto my watch list. So the VIX is a bit high today, and these numbers are creeping up gradually. First one, CRBP. CRBP is CRBP. CRBP, we've got a position in it currently, IV 89%, so IV is still high in that one, and that's why it made it onto my list. The second on my list is BABA and then PDD. BABA. So Alibaba, IV 53.7, no earnings. The next one was PDD, IV rank 59%. I've also got SLV, Silver, ETF, and CVAC. SLV is at 50. CVAC, wow, it's at 109. I don't know what this company does. It's a Nasdaq technology company, no earnings, not very liquid. But yeah, it made it onto my list because IV is very high in it. And finally, I've got QDEL. That's another Nasdaq one, QDEL. And QDEL is IV rank 74, 2-star liquidity. Might be able to do something in that one. And that brings me to the end of my journal for today. Quick recap of the highlights. ARKK, if ARKK consolidates, if ARKK consolidates around the 95 level tomorrow, I'll be looking to ladder my strikes and sell 105 call spread. If it pulls back, then it's back to plan A. Also, 45 days to expire tomorrow, so I'll be looking to put on some new trades. I'll start looking for new trades to put on tomorrow. If I do find any, I shall bring it to your attention. If not, then I'm sure I'll find some before the week runs out. And that's it for today. Thank you very much, and goodbye.